What's going on, guys? What's going on? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? How are we doing today? We're coming up here today's highs here, testing a little bit of a double top. Again, be careful if you are looking to get long right here at this spot. Could definitely be a little tricky. So I've got this purple dotted line here, just kind of marking out visually where our previous high of day was at. But I've also got a supply zone here, linear regression. So it's black. I don't like to make it too, too bright. I got enough stuff on my chart as it is. But I got a little bit of resistance here at 19,906. That's my linear regression. It's an indicator I use on Thinkorswim for my charting. We're trading an Apex account today. I actually got to get a trade in with day traders. So let me kind of get this going here. I do got to get a trade in with day traders. So kind of just flipping those trades. We passed an eval there. I just need one more trade day. So let's just kind of get a let's just get a let's just fire away a little bit of a long here, and I'll just get out really quick so that way I could just log a day. There, so we got that day logged with day traders. Again, guys, I'm trying out day traders. First time for me trying out day traders. I like everything, using Quantower with them. Used to trade Quantower back in the day with, I forget who, I think it was with Top Step. But anyways, so we're trying them out. Again, left side of the chart, we do got the Apex account up and rolling today, currently up $1,300, 4 winning trades, 1 losing trade, and 80% win rate. So we're looking okay. I'm not really looking to push it too much. If anything, I'll probably just trade some micros here to kind of round out the day, see if I see any kind of setup that interests me. What I would like to see here is, now that we've broken this high of day, I want to break through 19,905. I want to put in a high there, then I want to pull back. And when I pull back, I want to put in a somewhat of like I want to see a little bit of a flag pattern set up, or at least, I mean, I'm even interested in this pulling all the way back to 850. That way, if it does pull back to 850, it'll give me an area of support where I can get back long. But again, we'll have to see. Today's going to be a crazy day because of FOMC. We got a beautiful pop off the open, which I think a lot of people made money on off the open. And then we had kind of like a slow 1 hour grind to the downside. We found some support. On my chart, I found support at the 50 SMA on a 5-minute. And that's exactly where we bounced off at. We had a little bit of a reversal candlestick here at 7:55 PST. We bounced off of that. We had a 5-minute 20 play. If you wanted to fire away long at that 20 play on a 5-minute chart, 8:05 Pacific Standard Time, 19,863, popped all the way up to 76. So for me, for a lot of the people that trade with me in Evolution Traders, I mean, we're looking for, anywhere between 3 and 10 points a lot of times on these scalps. We would have been able to get it there. You would have been able to also get it here on this continuation long. Now, I want to make a point here. Maybe on this short setup here, although it was a 20 SMA play short, this is not something for me, and I'll just kind of circle the trade. This is not something for me that I would be taking, because if I kind of look at what the market did prior, okay, we sold off, we bounced, we found some resistance, we pulled back and put in a higher low at a very strong area, key area of support. Okay. So this little pullback here is not really something that's going to be of interest to me until we were to be able to, let's say, break down below this 50, and then we would have potential to kind of come to this 200. That would be something more that I would be interested in taking. So I'm going to ignore these short setups, even if they're triggering, because there's no real interest. The momentum was back up. You could have gotten back in here on this flag or this 5-minute 20 play as well. So I'm looking at the 5-minute chart today. I don't know why. I just, I started off on the 5-minute chart today, and we're going to just end on the 5-minute chart today. So it is what it is. But, how's everyone else doing today? We staying safe? We able to make some money? Did you take trades? Did you not take trades today? What did we do today? What did we do today? So again, if you're looking to kind of play shorts off rejection zones, this would have been a good short here, right at that 1905, or yeah, 19905. And even if you know, again, I know a lot of people don't have the linear regression on their chart, but what you could have done is just mark out that high of day, right? And that's going to act as a double top. So some people like to look for those wicks through a supply zone and then short it back down into support. It's a good trade. I don't really trade that way. But I mean, again, if you're scalping, you can definitely find some opportunity there. Could definitely find some opportunity there. For me personally, I'm looking for more of a pullback. I want to see it hold, and then I want to continue this bounce. And honestly, until FOMC, I would like to see just a continuation. I would just like to see a continuation to the upside, even if it's a slow grind. And I get it. The closer we get into that FOMC, we're definitely going to slow down a little bit. So we'll see. Boom, 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 boom. Guys, those of you who trade Apex, I don't know if you guys tuned in, but PW stream, you guys can get 90% off with PW, Alpine, or Nutty Bar Trading. Again, 90% off with Apex if you use any of their 3 discount codes. NBT, Alpine, or PW. Again, just make sure to remember your boy next time when we have a regular sale. You guys come back around my way and hook me up. Code D Anthony. So we are breaking this double top here. This is what I want to see on anytime I'm looking to play continuation through. Anytime I'm looking to play continuation through a high of day, I definitely look for the new high to get put in, and then I'm looking for some type of pullback, and then I want to see confirmation. So I'll kind of hang tight here and see if that wants to confirm. That was also a good flag breakout too. These are moves like this where I want to chase. I definitely want to chase that. That was a 21-point range candle. That's something that, you know, you could have even gotten into late and still made some cash on. Just to kind of scratch my itch, I'm going to throw 2 micros at this. I think I'm going to give TPT soon since they don't have intraday. Yeah, they do have intraday though in the funded accounts. They do have intraday in the funded accounts. I have not, but they will be the next firm that I will attack. I like them. I've heard nothing but good things about them. We have a few traders in the room as well who have just recently started using them, gotten funded, and they like it. So, yeah. But in terms of like getting paid out, reliability and stuff like that, nothing but good things. So, and I think right now with the current sale they have, there's no activation fee as well. We're just gonna take this off. I just wanted to scratch the itch to subconsciously know that I would have been right if I traded big size, and I would have. It was 5 points there. It's close to 5 points. And I do that a lot, guys. I do that a lot. Like, let's say I'm looking at a specific level and I was waiting for a certain, I guess, set of events to happen. Like, I wanted to see it just barely break and then pull back and then go. But sometimes when it keeps continuing to go, I kind of feel like, oh, I missed the move, right? I missed the move. But instead of like just FOMOing into it with max size like I would on a normal setup, I'll just throw a couple micros at it. That way it's at least like, okay, I scratched my itch, right? It got me into the trade. And if it doesn't work because, you know, I was an idiot for chasing late, okay, cool. I get slapped on the hand for a small loss, right? It doesn't really matter. And then if it wins for a couple of points, good. Then it just kind of like, for me mentally, it's like, okay, you know, I was on the right side of things anyways, so it helps. You know, I'm not really worried about the money in that particular situation. Just worried about, was I right? Because that, I think that's a big thing too for a lot of us, is like sometimes we're hesitant to pull the trigger on trades because it's like, are we going to be right? Are we going to make money? I don't want to lose money. But I just want to know, like, was I even on the right side? Would I have been able to make some cash, you know? This is a really good breakout though. 34 points up from the break of high of day. That's a really good move. Really, really good move. We got to try to take advantage of days like these, guys. I know a lot of people don't like to trade FOMC. It's choppy. The ranges can be bigger. But I mean, for the most part, when things are kind of moving relatively smooth, which to me, yeah, we popped, we pulled back, we bounced. That's relatively smooth, right? There was opportunity to take a little bit of a short from the highs. There was opportunity to get into a bounce. There was opportunity to take high of day. No, he's not talking till later. Couple hours. It's normally about 11:30 my time, so 2:30 I think Eastern. Yeah, daylight savings still fucking with people. I'm gonna go over into the hourly chart because I think this was an hour breakout as well. Yeah. So that was a good break too of the hour candles. You guys know too already. I follow the hour candles heavily, because your hourly chart kind of tells you your bigger macro intraday picture. So if you're getting a nice breakout through a previous hour high or a previous hour low, and you can find a setup on a smaller time frame, that creates a lot more conviction for me to like take those scalps, right? You know, which is why like I don't really want to be going short because I'm technically going against this hour's trend, right? I mean, does the Nasdaq give you enough room to pull back? Absolutely. I mean, you can find a little bit of a pullback, take 3 points here, 10 points there, but we're kind of just going against a trend. Um, yeah, Elder, dude. I mean, 160 points. I mean, I was tripping out when you posted the picture and you were up 100 points. I mean, even if it's on one micro, I mean, geez, just even the patience level for holding it is that's crazy. It's incredible because I can barely get myself to hold like a 20 pointer on a micro. I just get so anxious. But yeah, I mean, hell of a trade. Close it out. That's a $300. That's a $300 trade even on one micro. Close it out. Close it out. Or you know, if you're trading multiple, just you know, sell the majority of it and just hold a little piece. So if I look at the daily chart here, we are trading above our 5 and 10 moving average. I like that the 5 is starting to curl up. I'd like to see this 5 get above the 10. You know, this is still a dead cat bounce. We do have room to kind of continue. I would like to see this market just for healthy structure. I would love it if this market can continue into 20,400. Now again, that can completely change with FOMC later. Because you know, you can get just a nasty sell-off where we actually, you know, I mean, are down, you know, 400 points, 500 points. I don't want to see that. It's doesn't make me happy when the market goes down. You know, we'll catch a short, but I just like to see for structure wise, just at least take me into 20,300, 20,400. I would be okay with that because then I can kind of know what I want to expect. Maybe a little bit of a pullback, maybe some consolidation. And then if we lose a prior day's low. Okay, great. I know I can take that short back down into 19,000s. And then if we continue, then hey, you know, we've got a lot of room that we can kind of work back here from that sell-off that we've been experiencing since February the 21st. Nice trade, Elder. I just seen it. Nice trade. Beautiful. Let's see if we can find something on a 1 minute. I haven't really looked at the 1 minute today, but let's see if we can find something. One minute, pulling back into our 20 SMA. We haven't been below the 20 SMA on a 1 minute since 8:20, so about 50 minutes or so, 45 minutes, ever since we broke that. And again, guys, for some of you guys who, you know, kind of follow that 20 SMA little strategy, again, it's just looking at short-term changes in trend based on whatever time frame you're looking at, right? So in this particular situation, does it always work out this way? Absolutely not. But I mean, in this particular situation for this one trade setup on the 1 minute time frame at 8:21 PST, there was a 21 point range candle. That candle closed over the 20 SMA. Next candle confirmed. That's our entry candle. You could have walked into this trade with a 22 point risk and essentially taken it from a price of 19,859 to 19,920, essentially, right? Because we never closed below the 20 SMA. So if you're never closing below the 20 SMA and you do start getting up into profit and you manage to get through that initial like wanting to take profits off and scalp and you held it, essentially you could have just moved your stop loss to break even, which would have been right here, right? That would have been a break even stop. And essentially you just kind of just ride the wave. You just ride the wave and then sell where your little heart desires, right? Again, how many times do they work out this way? Not a lot, but this is like a 4 or 5x trade, you know, 4 or 5R trade. Again, I don't trade that way. Like I would have been in here, out here, and then I'm kind of just like looking for continuation flags to continue that move, which we had a few of them. So I could have taken another trade there. I did take a trade here. I did take a trade there, but that's kind of how I approach it. So there's two ways, you know, some people like to get into the trade here, you know, put a stop loss, move it to break even, and then just kind of hold up one trade. And then you have other people who like to scalp a little bit here, scalp a little bit there, scalp, just like to click a button a million times. I kind of fall into that boat sometimes. We do have another one here. This is a little bit more of a deeper pullback than what we've seen. If we do lose this 20 SMA, fully expect this to come back to 19,900, 100%. If it doesn't, I'd be very shocked. Because that's the breakout, right? That was the breakout here through Hive Day, through previous hour. I'm gonna go short here. I just like a little bit of a pullback, just a little bit. Just want to see if I can get a little something off of it. I want to see if this 20 SMA gives way here. Could be completely wrong because it has held for the better half of 40, 50 minutes. I have a little bit of resistance here at 914, a little bit of resistance here at 920. I think any closure over 920 I'll get out of the trade. But we could be looking at some chop. So here's that little bit of resistance here. I want to see it realistically stay closed below 920. I don't know if it's going to do that. Market is a little bit strong right now. Trying to get a little cute there and trying to go short a little early. March Madness, guys. Any of you guys follow? Some big games starting to kick underway here today. Got a couple of bets in myself. Looking for an upset today on Texas over Xavier. Just not a believer in Xavier, but we'll see. UConn. I like UConn. I hit on UConn a couple times over the past week. They're playing some good ball right now. I don't know how well they'll do in the tournament, but they're a strong team. So here's a little bit of a we're getting a little close to this 20 SMA. It's really trying to hold up here. That 10 SMA is really starting to push down here. I still want to see it stay close below 20s. I want to see us close below the 20 SMA. I want to see us push down, starting to really work here. If we can give out this floor right here, if this floor can give way, I'm expecting 900s to get tagged. If that floor can give way. Got to really watch it though, because you can see one of these, boom, these big pops. If you see a big pop that starts to close like that, then that trade's going to become invalid because it's going to have potential to just keep grinding and break that downtrend. So we'll keep a close eye on it. One minute 20 SMA here. Entry price would be below 908. Kind of quickly wicked you in there. I'd like to see just a quick dump into this prior resistance. So the prior resistance that I'm looking at here for this to come into would be this consolidation before that pop. So previous resistance is acting as new support here. Okay, so that's why this short trade's a little dangerous. It's a little risky. It's why I have no intentions of putting it on with any type of major size at all, because as you can see, it can do something like that, which is a 12-point pop. And if you're in this with multiple mini contracts, you can definitely get stuffed on that. That's $200 a mini, so you could be down $600, $700, $800, $1,000 on a trade idea. That's why on these type of trade ideas, I don't really like to, throw on big size. It's just, can I grab a cup of coffee or not? And it's starting to close over. And if it starts to confirm this 20 play, I just got to get out of the trade, right? If this candle closes over the previous one. That's what I look at. The only way that you can really stomach, pops like that against you is trading super small size. I mean, we're down $30 here. What's that? $30 is not going to kill you. But it allows you to be able to see the price action play out. And I think over time, if you do that, even if this trade loses, which it very well could, it looks like it's going to, you learn things, right? It's like, okay, well, don't go short here trying to get cute going against a bigger trend, even if it is pulling back. And then sometimes, hey, the market continues to get weak and then you just get lucky and then it does come down, right? It's like, okay, cool. Now I can buy some lunch. So I'm going to get out of this trade now because this is invalidated what I was expecting to see. So we take a little bit of a loss there. I think it was like $50, $60. What is that? $56. So nothing. Beautiful 1 minute 20 there. So on the wrong side of that one completely. And if you really look at that, right, if you stay with the trend, look at the flag on that. See that? Beautiful. Previous high is 937. I'd keep an eye on this candlestick here. A little bit of a pause candle. I'm actually going to mark that high out. Because if we stay under that and we close below this 20, we could definitely be coming down. Here's a back test of the trend line. 30 seconds here on this 1 minute candle before it closes. So let's see here. I think we can try to hammer this short if it confirms. I don't want to see it go too far down. So we got a lot of resistance here between 918 and 922. That's what I'm kind of watching here. To see it come down here into these 990s. There we go. I'm out, guys. $100 on that move. 5 micros. That was the idea I was looking for the first trade, right? For it to come right down there to that 899 area. So we got it at that 5 micros, about $110 on that. So we ate back the small $50 loss and went net profit 50. That's fine. Perfect. That's all I'm looking at, guys. I'm just looking at just playing price action like that, trying to read the candlesticks, trying to read prior areas of supply and demand and see, you know, can I come up with anything, right? So trade idea, why did I take the trade? Well, we put in a pop, right? I think I mentioned it. I was focusing on this candle here. This is a little doji candle, kind of signifying could be a short-term reversal. I was waiting for 9:09 Pacific Standard Time candle to close. I wanted to see it close back underneath this demand, and I took the 20 play. That was it. We took the 20 play right into the area where we were expecting this short to go to. That was it. So So I'm definitely going to mark out previous hour highs because that's something, if we do get follow through and continuation, something to look forward to. Also, if we do continue to pull back on this hour chart, we could pull all the way back into 850s before you bounce. And that would still be in bullish context because you would pull back into this rising support, maybe chop around, and then coming out of lunch, you could see a continuation push to the upside, right? Or you can also see a pullback into this support, and then we come out of lunch, and then we continue to flush, which would take us down to 760s. So it's setting us up for a very big move going into FOMC. Like, you can see this drift into FOMC and then absolutely explode. And I think a lot of people will be very happy if that happened. But you can also just see us kind of come into this area, and then maybe we try to dead cat bounce. We never take out this high. FOMC comes out, Jay Powell starts talking, and then just dump, right? Which I don't really want to see, guys. I'm tired of the selling, to be honest. because the selling just gets harder and harder the lower and lower you go, because you start losing so many levels of support where, yeah, the volatility is there, like the range is there to definitely make some money on scalps, but you don't have a lot of targets to start going after, because you're just losing every target. And now it becomes a thing of like, okay, well, where potentially is this going to stop if I do get short, right? Because the bounce backs are 30-40 points in a downtrend, right? It's big bounces. I'm going to pull up my big chart here and see if I see anything on those 1 hour. The 1 hour chart's got just, we are building a lot of support. Like there is little intermediate levels where you can get short, but realistically this doesn't look too sketchy until we lose 650s, which is a long ways away. It could definitely still be in somewhat dead cat bounce bullish context all the way down to here and still go higher. You would have to see a close below 650s, and then 550s would be your stop. I like playing out scenarios like that, drawing things on a chart. I don't know if you guys ever do that, where you guys are drawing on your chart potential trade ideas. It definitely helps me mentally. A little bit of a flag pattern here on a 5-minute time frame. So 5-minute time frame support at 868. If this continues to confirm, we might want to continue to go short here. We might want to be short through 890. Let's see here. Is anyone interested in a short here, or is it just me? I'm going to try this short here. I'm going to try this short here. 903. Just watching this trade here. I'd like to see one big dump, right? Just one big splash to get me out. Here we go. Need a little bit more follow through, a little bit more momentum. I want to see this bottom just fall right out of this thing. It's getting a little weaker. I'd like to see the bottom just fall out of this thing. We're up 50 bucks here and a few micros. One more, just one more little push down is what I want to see. Just one more. See, very slow. You could get a little bit of a bounce here. It's just getting a little weak on the downside, meaning we're not getting that continuation. You're going to see a little bit of a spike up here. Again, your resistance is sitting at 900 even. So be careful. I think that might have been it. That's actually testing. If I was to draw a line here, why did we stop there? I'm always curious. Why the hell did we stop there, right? Well, if I look at these two highs, that's exactly where we came down to. It's right in the middle of that target that I had there of 870. What is this moving average here that we bounced off of? I want to see this go right here to 70s. I might just have to close this out for, I don't know, break even, a little bit of profit there. It's just kind of tinkering around a little bit too much for my liking. Let's see here. Yeah, so two back-to-back wicks like that, it tells me short-term pop into this resistance, 900 all the way up to 910. It's not flushing out here to these 870s. Tells me probably short-term pop to retest a lot of this supply and try to get some of these shorts out of their positions to then trap them and then still probably go lower, right? So definitely anyone who's short at the highs is going to get starting to get stopped out if we start to break 910s. Yeah, a little bit of a pop here. So resistance 9, I'm still looking at the resistance here at 900 all the way up to 910 could be a back test spot here. What is this moving average that I have over here? The 5. No. Oh, 15. See, there's that back test into those 910s. That's the back test into the 910 resistance. Patience, patience, patience here. On a lot of my trades, I like to be proven that I'm wrong on the charts or take profit. So on this particular trade, I mean, I spoke about it. Like the resistance is sitting here at 900, 910. Like I know that there's an opportunity that it's going to go up there. And if it does go up there, I mean, yeah, can I get out on the way up there? Sure, I could save a little bit, but technically the trade is not broken as long as it's still under this supply, right? Now, if we closed over 910, then I've got to get out and I've got to eat the loss because the chart just told me, hey, you're wrong. This is probably going higher. These like little bounces up and down. I mean, I can't, like, I'm not smarter than the market. So I can't tell myself, well, maybe just get out here because I'm going to save myself a bigger loss. Or maybe just hold it because it's going to continue to go down. It's like, no, what is actually happening? What's happening is it's not doing a whole lot of anything. It's still below the supply. My trade is still valid short, but it's looking weaker. I'm going to say that. Like the trade, the longer it starts to not go down to the area I wanted it to, which originally was 870 and now it's 876, so it's taking off money now, to be honest. It's not looking good, and the chart is probably going to tell me that I'm wrong in a few minutes here as soon as we get this close over this this definitive break over these 810s. But we'll see. We're playing with house money today, so we can let it try to work a little bit. Back down to those 890s, but those 890s have been wishy-washy. Like I want to now the target moves up to about 876. I want to see it flush down there. It's got to flush down to 876 to get me out of this trade. Like it just keeps holding with a lot of wicks here, so we are finding buyers in this spot. We are finding buyers here. Very, very choppy. The previous 5-minute candles high sitting at 909.75. Let's call it 910. That'll probably be my out. 910s, 10s, 11s. Nice pop here. It's testing that resistance once more. Yeah, it's testing the resistance once more. If it starts to pop those 8-10s, you could see a good 5, 10, 15 point push higher. It keeps getting rejected right here at this previous support. So it's really working on it here. Support right now is around 890. It keeps holding that 890. The trade idea that I had, the original price target was all the way down at 870, and my support has moved up to 880. So the support is rising now. It's making the trade short that I originally took not as appetizing anymore because it's taken a lot of my range out. You know, basically taking my range out to break even, which kind of sucks because it didn't go in a timely manner. That's the thing with a lot of my trades. They need to start working within, 5, 10, 15 minutes. If not, then my range gets taken out of, right? So I believe now coming down to my support where I was looking to take profit originally, probably for $100 profit, is just basically, taking me to break even if it does come down there now. There's the break. I mean, again, kind of sucks. The support's at 881. Oh, that sucks. There we go. But it's not that much though at this point. We'll just take that off. $62, guys. That cut my price target by about 50 bucks. So originally, the idea on that trade was when I got short here through 890s, I was looking for either this candle at 9:15 PST or this candle at 9:20 to come down and test my rising support. That was my profit taking area. So at that point in time, we were trading down here at 69.70, which would have put me, about maybe $100 on those micros, $125 on those micros, which would have been fine. Which again, it's always fine, right? It's never like the end of the world. But because it took so long, about 15, 20 minutes to actually play out, my support started to rise. Because I am a technical trader, I believe in supply to supply, demand to demand. So if my original idea was to take profits into demand, I have to still take profits into demand, right? Now, can this completely drop 50 points? Sure. But that wasn't my trade idea. I didn't get into this trade thinking, hey, we're going to drop to 830, 850. I wanted to drop to 870, which was going to give me around, I don't know, whatever it was, 15, 20 points a pop, which would have been fine. But because it rose, now when I took profits, instead of taking about $125 on a trade, I only took about $62 on a trade. So it is what it is. I gotta respect the way that I trade. Again, you know, would I have loved for it to go sooner? Sure, but there's nothing I can do about it. My stop loss remained the same. It was any break and hold over like 910, 911. But again, if anyone got stopped out on that trade, I can see why. I mean, yeah, we were in a 27-point range, 23-point range, so a little difficult to kind of hold heavy position size when the market's bouncing against you 20 something points. I think I glanced at my screen a couple times. I was down like 160, 170 bucks, whatever, right? It's not that big a deal. But technically my trade was still intact, so there was no reason for me to really sell. So again, if you guys have a problems too sometimes, like where you're getting into trades, the idea is working, but it's kind of just chopping around, and you're getting stopped out, and you're not even getting the opportunity to maybe manually exit the trade for break even or take just a small profit, you might just need to size down so you can watch the market play out more, right? Because when you have bigger size, obviously you have to have a smaller stop loss, and sometimes the market just doesn't go. Like out of 100 trades, I would say maybe 30 of them, as soon as I get into it, boom, it just goes straight to profit. Like go straight to profit, just easy trade. Then there's probably another 30 trades that lose, right? But then there's probably about 40 trades that do this, where now you have to turn into a trader. And I think those 40 trades out of the 100 is where people get caught up. Because think about it. When you get into a trade and it just goes straight to take profit, that's easy. You didn't have to do nothing, brother. Like you just got into the trade, you had a good idea, it went. You did not do nothing. Same thing when you get into a trade and it kind of just goes against you and stops you out at your big level or whatever you were playing for a stop loss. You didn't have to do anything. It just stopped you out. But it's the other 35-40% of the trades where, like in this case, I'm in the trade and it looked like it was going to go right away, and it didn't, and it bounced up 20 points, 25 points. It's those trades where it's like, if you're in with way too much size, you can't afford to be in it, but technically the trade's not broken. Because I mean, look at it, we're still pushing down now, right, guys? So, you know, from 890 to 76 is over 15 points that you could have made if you just sat in a trade. And I know people, you know, have sometimes they thought about or said, well, it's easy if you just, you know, sure, it's easy if you look at it in hindsight. But in hindsight, who was right and who was wrong? You were right? But you were wrong in deciding that you wanted to trade that position size and you couldn't hold it, because the chart doesn't know how much size you have. The chart doesn't know if you're playing 1 micro or 1,000 minis, right? It's you who can't stay in the trade because you're trading too much size. But if I trade 1 or 2 micros, I'm not going to make that much money. Well, guess what? Tough shit, right? Life is hard. So what? Oh well, right? Sorry that we can't please you, right? That the market can't please you. And that's the thing. That's those 40 trades that are going to do that to you. Now, this trade could have very well not come back, and it could have busted over where it would have been technically damaged for me, which was over these 910s, 911s. And yeah, I would have had to eat a $200 or $220 loss. That's because I needed to see the chart technically prove me wrong, right? I can't just guess that, oh, okay, we're bouncing, I've got to get out. Well, it's probably going to come to all-time highs. Yeah, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But what is the chart telling me? I'm all about facts, right? Now, am I perfect? Absolutely not. Has there been times I'm in this trade and it bounces and then I'm like, oh, well, let me just give it a little more. And then it just does this, boom. Sure. But I'm human, right? And I understand that I can correct myself and be like, okay, you're an idiot, D. Like, that's why you lost more than you should have. Don't be an idiot, right? And it's on the bottom of the screen here. Patience. Stop doing stupid shit, right? So the moment you stop doing stupid shit, the moment things start to click, the moment you start to understand yourself a little bit better as a trader, and the more you understand that, hey, losses are a part of this business. Wins are a part of this business, but also managing trades is a huge part of this business, right? Like the wins that go to TP, easy. The losers that go straight to stop loss because whatever if you're going to be mechanical and have an X amount of stop loss, or you're going to be dynamic where you use levels in technical areas on a chart, doesn't really matter. But the thing is that about 40% of your trade, you're going to have to be a trader, right? And I think that's what gets people into trouble, is people try to outsmart the system where they're like, no, if I have this specific target and this specific stop loss, I can just do this all day and I'm going to make money. Yeah, to a point though, but you still have to be a trader. Like, again, if it was that easy, we could just get an algorithm or some type of script or something to just do all of our trading. Now, again, well, there is people who do that, sure, but let me tell you that they're not building scripts on Pine Script. They're not building these cheapy deepy fucking, scripts. Like, they're firms in hedge funds, in banks, who have invested millions and millions of dollars into IT and into creating these algorithms that are going to operate with no emotional attachment to the trade. You are still operating with emotional attachment to the trades, even if you're operating, with an algo or a PA or, some type of script or something. So like that whole mechanical style of trading is great if you can stick to it. And I'm a big believer that, if you have, let's say, a mechanical stop loss of 12 points and a mechanical take profit of 12 points, and because you forward tested and back tested that it's going to hit at 66% of the time, and that if you get through 100 trades, you're going to be profitable $850, right? That's your expected EV after wins and losses. Great. Then all you need to do is sit there and take lots of 100 trades at a time and just keep rolling in that $700 to $800 and $700 to $800. But the thing is that you're human, and if you go off script, if you start going off page, it's not going to work anymore because you're not following the plan, right? And that's the hardest part, is following the plan and actually sticking to the plan. Now, I do things a little bit more dynamic where, maybe sometimes I have stop losses at 15 points, maybe sometimes it's at 30 points, but I'm trying to adjust my size and stay into that. So, it is what it is. So hopefully over time, again, for me, I think it's just over time, guys, over time. And here's the thing, right? Even you've been trading for a year, you've been trading for 5 years, you've been trading for 10 years. Guess what? It never gets any easier. It never gets any easier. It's still the same stuff. You still can't predict the market. You still can't manage the size. You just get comfortable over time with what works and what doesn't. And it makes it a little bit more easy in terms of your rules, and it makes it more easy in terms of what you're looking for. And you tend to get more picky, and you tend to have less patience in a good way, where it's like, how many days I've come into the market where I might be looking at, for a 20 player, I might be waiting for a 30-minute opening range. And how many times I've seen, oh shit, we just had a beautiful opening drive over London session highs or lows, and this market is just flushing, or it's just ripping. And I'll fire away a trade, make $300-400. And I'm like, holy shit, like I just took that as pure momentum. There wasn't really like no strategy. Yeah, like we've broken out of pre-market highs, but it wasn't like a part of my plan. But I've taken those trades, and then guess what? I'm like, I'm done. But like the newer trader will sit there and be like, okay, great. Like I just made a bunch of money. Now let me go and try to follow all my rules and take all my setups. And guess what happens? You chop up, you win one, you lose two. And then it's like, you just pissed it all away. So just make sure, like, over time, that you are learning that, hey, if you catch a good trade off the open, wrap it up. Well, I'm going to tell you guys this. None of you guys are going to make $1 million today. None of you guys are going to make $1 million. So when you understand that you're not going to make $1 million, you're not going to make $100,000. But what about the people who, like I seen someone on Twitter or someone on YouTube, they had a $50,000 day. They also are copy trading 20 accounts. They're also, you know, making $2,000 or $3,000 on an account times 20. It's not like they made 50,000 on one account. And how many accounts did they actually blow? How many accounts do they have in the chamber? How many evals are they working on? What's their bankroll? Again, remember, everyone's pockets are different. For someone who's got $1,000 ready to fire up new evaluations because they lost, someone else is sitting on their last $100 and they're like, I need to make this work, right? So you're not in the same boat as everyone else. So you just have to do things right for you guys. Like, make sure you guys are doing things that are comfortable for you. Like, don't feel the pressure to want to, you know, compete. Don't feel the pressure to, I have to do this, or I've seen this be done. I've talked to so many traders and it's like, well, I've seen this person make 10,000 and they had 5 accounts. And yeah, but do you have 5 accounts right now? You know, are you willing to stop out at a $200 day, right? And are you willing to do that for 30 days? Or are you trying to make $10,000 this week? And I think a lot of you guys are trying to make $10,000 this week. Just take your time. You're going to get there. You're going to get there. Trust me. I started trading prop firms in 2023. I started with Top Step. It took me a long time. And this is coming off of already trading for 9 years, trading on a personal account, trading options, trading stocks. And I blew a lot because I'm like, this is way too easy. Like, I know how to trade. I'm going to come in here and make a bunch of money. And sure, I did. I would have $2,000 days, $3,000 days, $1,000 days. And guess what? I would just as easily have the $2,000 losing day. And I was like, whoa, like, this is not the way to do it. Like, what's the right way to do it? Because, like, it's not an infinite money glitch. You have to come up with a little bit of a working routine and working strategy. And what I found for me, and again, this is different. For me, it's not copy trading. For me, it's kind of taking a couple trades on one account and then kind of moving into another account if I see another setup. It's kind of walking away with, you know, a few $100s on the day. You know, like today is an outlier. Like, what do I make? $1,288. This is an outlier. I've taken 9 trades. Normally, I take 3 to 4 on an account. But I'm superstitious. This account is hot, so I just continue to trade this account. But you know, it's like, this is an outlier day. For every $1,000 day you have, you're going to have so many $100 days, right? But I just feel like, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but if someone who is newer to trading or maybe unprofitable yet, and they make $1,200 in a day, it's like tomorrow they come in and they're like, oh, I can do it again. Like, if I could just make $1,000 a day for a couple weeks, I'm going to be rich. But it's like, no, man, like, tomorrow we could have a losing day. We have to protect this 1,200 now. We have to, you know, if I made 1,200 today, well, I don't want to lose any more than 3/4 of that. So I don't want to lose no more than $300, $400 tomorrow. I want to protect that at all costs, because the next $1,000 day could be next week, right? And if I can manage to walk away tomorrow with 250, great. Now I'm up $1,500 in 2 days on this one particular account, you know, and then you could have a $500 day. So it's, you know, it's all about learning how to manage yourself as a trader and coming to those terms. I just think a lot of times, a lot of people come in with expectations, and if they don't hit those expectations, they're just firing away trades like until they hit the expectation or they blow up. And it's like, get comfortable with walking away with $200 in your pocket, because you can always scale. If you had 10 accounts, $200 is a $2,000 day. That's really, really good money over the course of 30 to 45 days. If you can get that to pay out and you can just remain consistent. So just focus more so on the consistency, more so than what's the best strategy. I hate when people want to know what the best strategy is. There's a million strategies. I can sit here with all of you guys right now and we can backtest just today's price action and come up with our own makeshift strategy. But like, are we going to follow the plan? The difference between a winning and a losing trader is winning traders follow a plan, and they don't just tell themselves they're going to follow the plan. They follow the fucking plan. A losing trader starts doing everything. Like, they're way off script all the time. Sometimes they're following the plan. Sometimes they're following someone else's idea. Sometimes they're just closing their eyes, spinning in a circle in their chair in hoping that the trade wins. Sometimes they're trading 5 times a day. Sometimes they're trading the first hour. Sometimes they're trading power hour. You're just doing too much shit. Like, stop doing Again, it's at the bottom of the screen. Patience. Stop doing stupid shit. That's it. That's it. Guys, we could be coming down to 850. $8.50. Guys, hit the like button for me as well. Really helps out the channel. Thank you. Appreciate it. A little bit of a rolling top here. I do expect this price action to get a lot slower going into FOMC. And I'll probably take a break here in a minute. Come back in an hour or so. Bada bing, bada boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Right here, 849 target, 849, 850, 10 more points. This right here, right here, right here. Come on. Prove it to me. Prove it to me. Prove it to me. Come on. Right here. Right there. Come on. Do it. Do it, do it, do it. Right here. Do it. Ten more points. Do it. Not going to do it. But anyways, here's my theory, right? You lose an area of demand, 20 SMA. That's my demand. So we lost it here, 935. You trade down into the next area of demand, 849. So we were 10 points shy. But the idea was 20 play, right? 20 play, lost the 20, low price, 873. You traded down to 853. That's over 20 points. Is this not good enough for you, right? Like that's the way I think. So even though, you know, again, I'm just like teasing, but I wanted to touch this level. I wanted it to touch that. But I tell people, take profits into demand. Take profits into supply. Because here's the thing, for every person, and I'm not saying you're using moving averages like this, but for every person that's like, okay, I have a target of way up here, and let's say you're in profit, you're in the money, baby, and the next thing you know, it just falls down. You're like, oh, I lost, right? No. Why aren't you taking profits here? Why aren't you taking profits here? I don't care if you have a take profit there, right? So it's the same thing as this. We were 10 points shy. But imagine if someone was such a stiffler where they wanted to take profits right here and they weren't going to settle for nothing less. You're now break even and you're now negative. And you gave away 22 plus points of profit. So always, 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 when you have these targets, even if you have a bracket order and a mechanical take profit, and let's say your mechanical take your bracket is set at 20 points take profit, and you're trading in the money, 14 points, 15 points in the money, 16 points, and then it goes back down, you're 10 points in the money, 13 points in the money, 15 points in the money, and guys, you're looking at the candlestick and it's just not flushing. Take the 15 points. Don't be so hard-headed. You're going to get another trade that magically touches your 20 points, right? And again, having this on my screen, if I was in this trade, I wasn't in this trade again, guys, But if I was in this trade off this 20 play and I'm trading down here and I'm hooting and hollering for 10 more points, 10 more points, 10 more points, and then I see it start to wick and it starts to come back, Guys, I'll take my 10 points. I'll take my 12 points. I'll take my 15. Hell, I'll take 5. But I am not breaking even on that trade. Like, I am not going to break even on that trade. If I broke even on that trade, I broke all of my rules, because my rules are get in, get green, get the hell out. Have a target, have a setup, and be a trader, right? Be a trader. That's what you guys want to be, right? Everyone wants to be a trader, so be a trader. Anyone can click. I can get a 10-year-old and tell them to click the button long or short, and then they don't have to do anything if they always have that bracket on. The only time I really see the brackets working for, like, where you can operate mechanical like that, you got a 3-point take profit, you got a 5-point take profit, you got a 10-point take profit max. You start getting over 10 points, the market's gonna chop around, it's gonna reverse, it's gonna consolidate, and then you're gonna get all flustered, right? Now, I do hard brackets sometimes. A lot of times it's at 5 points. You know, if I put on a trade and it hits 5 points, guess what? I'm out. I'm not getting back into the trade. I'm not, I hope that makes sense, right? Again, I'm just sharing my experiences and how I view the market. You could view trading completely different. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm wrong or you're right or you're wrong and I'm right. It's just, that's how I view it, and that's how I view taking my profits, and that's how I view managing my trades. And again, it's what's worked for me. Do a lot of times I give away profits because I'm taking too little? Sure. But it works for me. Like, I know that I can come into the market and pick off 5 or 10 points a lot easier than taking 25, 35 points. That's it. And I'm playing those odds. And I try to stay patient, right? And again, I'm not perfect. I mean, I lost a couple evals last week trading stupid. And watch. For every person who was looking for this target and it got stopped out, look at. If it touches this, that's what we're waiting for. We were waiting for it to touch this moving average here at 49s, 50s. If this comes down, that trade idea was still valid, right? And that's kind of what I'm saying. So it's like, you can have a trader who didn't take profits because, they wanted it to get right there. They didn't sell into demand, and then they got stopped out for a big loss. And guess what, guys? It just came right back down, like right back down. You're back in profit again, but you can't withstand because you had too much size. You were too greedy. You didn't take, 15 points instead of the 20 points you wanted. And you ended up losing 30 points now, or 25 points. But you know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense, guys. And again, if it doesn't make sense, it's probably because you're look at it go. Look at this, guys. You're probably someone who wants, no, it's got to be white or it's got to be black. If it's not, it doesn't make sense. And there are those people out there. And I'm sorry if you're one of those people that it's got to be white or it's got to be black. But it's not, though. It's really not. Okay, trading is not white or black. The only way to make trading white or black is, I got a 10-point stop loss. I'm going to live with that. I'm going to die with that. I've got a 10-point take profit. I'm going to live with that. And I'm going to die with that. That's an example. And you're not worried about the outcome of any one potential trade. You might hit 6 losing trades in a row and then go on a winning spree of 15 in a row, right? But again, I know from working with traders for the past 4.5 years now that people have a hard time doing that. They don't like to just live and die by the gun. They want to be right more than they don't. They want to have a bigger take profit than they have stop loss. And it's like, no, well, trading, you have to have I need at least 2 R's to get for every 1 risk. And it's like, You don't though. You don't though. Like, you were fooled. Someone lied to you. Now, again, there's traders who operate at 35% win rate, but their winning trades are 5 times bigger than their losing trades. Great. That's the style that they're using. They got to live by it. But guess what? 100% of their trades are either lose small, win very big. It's not, oh, let me mix in some scalps along the way. You know? Like for me, my stop loss a little bit bigger than my take profit. It works for me. I the hard part about it is not getting carried away taking too many trades because that stop loss is bigger than my take profit. Now again, if I was like, let's say, let's give an example. And it's happened to me, and this is why I'm giving the example. I'm up $500. My next trade, I lose $400. Shit. Okay, I'm up $100. My next trade, I lose another $500. Shit. Now I'm down 600. I was up 500. Stupid. Didn't walk away. Should have walked away with 500. Why did I not walk away? Greedy. Why did I not walk away? I'm stupid. Why did I not walk away? I think I know everything. Like, those are reasons that you do it to yourself. So based on that, what do I have to do? What's my adjustment? Okay, D, if I go up $300-$400 like yesterday I took 7 fucking trades and I didn't lose one trade. All scalps, all for like 4, 5, 6 points. I didn't lose one trade. Does that mean that my strategy is never going to lose? No. That just means that for that particular interval where I was trading, those setups were giving me 4, 5, or 6 points. But if I was to sit there and trade all day, and mind you, this was like over an hour's time. If I was to sit there and trade all day, do you think that I was going to knock out another 6 winning trades in a row? Probably not. I probably would have taken one loser that would have given away $400, and I would be from $700 to $300. And if I took one more loser, I'm back in the negative. So you got to get really good if you operate negative or even 1-to-1 sometimes. You got to get really good at, guys, if you win a couple trades, just walk. Just walk. Like, I don't know who got the memo that the market's not going to be open tomorrow or next week or next month, but I've been sitting here coming up and showing up to the markets every day, essentially for 13 years, and the market is still open. So just keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind. But we're not really doing anything, guys. I think I'm gonna cut this a little short. We're just kind of consolidating here. I don't really have anything to I don't really have anything to I don't really have anything to really do. We are just kind of waving up, down, up, down. We could be looking at that pop the way that this is going. Look at this though, right? Took everything off the chart. Look at this flag. Look at that flag. Remember that flag breakout? Look at where we pulled back to. Isn't it crazy, right? Technical analysis, guys. Yeah, they're just stupid lines you could draw on your chart. But look at how perfect that broke out and back tested. So if we close below it and then we pop and we fail to get above, you could be looking at what? Based on technical analysis, the prior swing low, which is right here, 788s. Now, if we hold this, we could be looking to reverse and go back up to the upside. I'll leave you guys with that. By the way, guys, hit the thumbs up button on your way out of here. Make sure you guys are liking the video. It definitely lets YouTube know to push this out to more traders next time I do go live. Also, if you guys need those evaluations, as said in the beginning of this stream, PW, Alpine, which is, I think his code is just Alpine, and Nutty Bar Trading, which is NBT. Those guys all got 90% off with Apex today. Go show them a little love. Use their code. Just keep your boy in mind when that sale is over. You guys can use my code DAnthony. It'll give you the best available discount for small fries, right? So with that being said, Stay patient today, guys. Good luck. Make some cash. Don't overdo it. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.